I wanted to show a problem I used to have with this SKS M here. I used to get failed to fires light primer strikes with it every so often, and when I first got it I thought it was the lot of ammo I had. I had some wolf ammo and I was like, well, it must just be this ammo. Nope. Went through all that ammo and I got some of that Yugo M67 brass case stuff and it still did it, and I realized no, it's the gun. So I looked on the internet and tried to figure stuff out, but what it turned out to be was the spring, the recoil spring here, in a certain position can hang down enough. It has a little bit of a bend right there where the two pieces come together, and the hammer would hit it, and that would take out enough energy for there to be, light primer strikes that fail to fire. And what it turns out is this SKS M is actually kind of a poorly made one. The gun's not put together straight. I mean, the trigger group, you can't really see it here, but if I take it apart, the whole trigger stamped housing is bent. It used to have a really bad trigger pull. The sights are both of them are canted. The whole barrel's actually a little bit canted. The carrier doesn't sit straight in the receiver. It sits like it's, when it's in the gun, it sits cocked over like this. It always wants to move at an angle. If I put this carrier in it, this one moves back and forth, and this gun's straight. So it's the way this carrier is made. And it's actually, let's see if you can see it. This one, this little U shape here is actually bigger than this older. This SKS over here is from about 72, 73, something like that. And you can see that everything's just a little bit bigger on this gun. And if you can compare the recoil springs to I don't know what you call it, but the little part inside that holds the spring together, they're actually different, and this one can bend a little bit more. And combine that with the carrier, it's a little bit out of spec. Like I said, it allows it to hang down into the receiver, and it only does it in a certain position. And the way I saw it is you could see light through when the receiver top cover's on, and I would look in there, and every so often you'd be able to see the spring hanging down. So what I did was I just took a Dremel and I just ground off some of the hammer. And I'm sure other SKS have it. This can't be the only one that has this problem, and I never found anything on the internet about anybody fixing failed to fires in this way. Some people just put a heavier hammer spring and stuff, which the SKS, a lot of them already don't have a great trigger pull. And you could already see a normal SKS already has that little notch cut out on it. So I'm sure out of the millions of these guns that were made, there's more that are having occasional fail to fires that people just can't figure it out. And I think I ground off the front of it too at a little bit of an angle. And ever since I did that, I've never had another fail to fire with the gun. And so it just moves around, and when the spring's in it, it wants to sit over here to the right side. The proper way would be that. It doesn't look like much on this video, but you can really tell it in real life when you're looking at the gun. Another thing I did to improve it so that the magazines